the roads as a cold snap plunges temperatures below zero. Dozens of flights have also been
Thank God for
cancelled
that. What
as
were you trying to
forecasters
palm me off
predict
with?
the coldest weather in the UK for at least
Shitty
5
little
years.
animal.
So staying with that weather, this evening's snow showers
because you
will
meant
affect
it
eastern and
seriously.
southern parts of the UK. Clear spells and severe frost for many, especially for western parts.
I
That
thought
of
you were
heavy and
off- we are
persistent
not
snow
in
will
London.
move into Scotland and northern
I thought you were
England
offering us some
later.
kind of...
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
Great.
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio. Shappi Khorsandi's here.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
How funny to see you, man.
It's brilliant to see you.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Why?
Because we have just because of that whole jungle nonsense.
I know.
Man. It was a weird thing, and I just always get a little bit uncomfortable around people that were involved in that.
Do you know what? I was so not myself in there. I was myself in there, but I was so stifled in there that when I see you, it takes me... I kind of think, oh, God, Ian doesn't know me when, like, the way I am normally. You know, he's only ever seen me sort of shuffling around on a log, you know, counting the hours to get out.
There was a lot of hour counting.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if anyone was. I mean, I was myself in there, but I was myself in as much as I could be in a situation where normally I would have walked away.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you're in this literally this kind of small circle where you can't really physically stray out of, and there are people that I wouldn't normally spend time with, and I would want to, because I was past tense and present tense. I'm a fan of yours, so when I knew that you were in there, I was quite excited.
Well, I was really excited because you don't completely remember, but you and I worked on a radio pilot.
This is what you said.
A while ago, and it was at the drill hall.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to be working with you, and you were really funny, and you were a right laugh. And I remember thinking, oh, yeah, he's really cool. And then when I saw you there, I was like, oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have laughs. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. But then it's just impossible to talk, you know. It's impossible to have any sort of nuanced conversation.
There's no room for laughs in there.
There's no joy.
And you did have a go at me quite early on in the first trial that we did together, with me, you, and Dennis.
Right.
Where we were. I'm not saying this in and God damn you for it. It was a tense old thing. We had to hold the briefcases.
Oh yeah.
That was. I
thought I was supportive.
Wait
Wait a minute. Whoa. Dennis was all cross with you. I was really supportive.
Dennis told me to shut the F up.
He did.
And
I
then he
kept calling
denied
you
that when
I kept calling you sweetie.
You did tell me to shut up as well.
No, I never.
Right, afterwards, when we're doing the bit to camera, and you said, well, I did let you talk for a bit, and I went, oh, did you now? Thanks very much.
You know what? I got sent the box set.
Oh yeah, I got that.
So we could look at it, but
God, no.
as I said to my children, I will watch that on the day where I have finished doing everything else I want to do in life.
I don't. They send you a lovely box set, like, you know, all beautifully done. And I couldn't help but notice on the back it lists the episodes and who does what trials.
Yeah.
They spelt my name wrong.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They bloody well did.
Did they forget their second I?
Yes, they did.
Well, that's not even your name.
No, so maybe it's a different guy. But now, and then this is the weird thing, right? Because I'm in touch with the people I want to be in touch with. I'm in touch with you. I'm in touch with Jenny and Jenny's lovely husband, Chris. And Kez and I occasionally, have a little thing. And the others, I've got no ill feelings towards anybody, right? But then I found out that you're in a WhatsApp group with them still, just now, and I was... Part of me... This is the insanity of it.
Well, I left the WhatsApp group, but it's such a passive-aggressive thing to do, isn't it? To like go, Shappi has left the conversation, or whatever it says. But I'm on so many WhatsApp groups. There's my son's football, my daughter's ballet, the Ealing runners, the everything. And so something had to go. And also I just... felt that I needed some distance. But then I saw everyone at the National Television Awards.
So did I.
And I'm just nosy. I want to see what everyone's up to.
I saw everyone there, and no one said, hey, Ian, we've got another WhatsApp group going. Do you fancy giving that one a
But you know what's really
Sharp.
adorable is it's just like the jungle,
Yeah.
in that they'll all be having a laugh on the WhatsApp group, and I'll make a little comment to chip in, and everyone will ignore me. That's all right.
There was a lot of you being ignored when we were in there.
I was ignored a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing I had to do was, when I was in there, was do that silly game, and then I had to pick 5 people, right? And everyone was been saying, why did you pick those 5 people? And I don't know if I may have told you this. Yours were the only, even though I got your name wrong, yours were the only 5 names that I knew. Because I didn't know who was in there, and I'm looking at these people going, I don't know if I could name 5 of them.
I thought it was I thought they would have told you who everyone was, because that's quite a gamble they took, that you would know, the names of
Well, they
everyone
did,
there.
because I was in Australia for nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was in lockdown without a phone or a computer. And when I left England, Dennis had been announced, and I think Amir had been announced.
Yeah.
But then that was it. And I was in lockdown so that I wouldn't know who was going in. Then the day before I went in, the producers came in and said, right, the person you're going in with has only just arrived in Australia. They know everybody that's in there. They've seen the first episode. So we're going to tell you who's in there. I'm thinking, I've just had 2 weeks of not speaking to my kids, locked in a hotel, and now you're going to tell me who these people are?
These bloody politicians.
It was... I'm gonna put this out there. I was surprised when Kez's fee was announced.
Were you?
Yeah.
In what way? Why were you surprised? Was it?
She did better than me.
Oh.
She did better than me. It was. I thought that was a mean trick that she had to announce how much she got paid because of the politician.
It's her job. I mean, she has to. You're a politician. You sign up to these complete disclosures.
Are you bored of talking about the jungle?
No, not at all. I'm really trying not to talk about money.
No, I know. I'm not saying that to ask. I'm not saying that to ask you at all. So it's not. You got more than that, did you? Good for you. Well done.
Listen, I wouldn't have put myself through
I got
it.
significantly less than that, and I'm
Did
thinking
you?
maybe I should have. No, I got what I was happy with. That's
Okay.
obviously I was happy.
I got a new shed.
Yeah. Wow.
I got a new shed. I did boxing classes. This is what I spent my money on.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking the autumn off touring. The way I looked at the money, because I got I got a good chunk of change, right?
Yeah. I'm not asking, of course.
And it was, for me, the way I regard money for something like that is buying bedtimes.
Yes.
Because you and I both make our
That's a great way
living.
of putting it,
Yeah, we make our living at night time, and I
Yeah.
bought a stack of bedtimes with my children. And so it's funny, but I remember on the last day before the vote, me and Jamie did this task, and it was freezing and damp, and it was raining, and both, like Jamie said, he was at the end of his tether.
Yes.
It's not my place to say what he said because he didn't say it on camera, but between us, he said, I'm not getting paid enough for this. And then I went to my hammock and I cried, and I had that little thought of, shall I just walk?
Yeah.
Shall I just walk? But I just remember how nervous and stressed I was going before I went in. I felt like I was going into leaving my life behind and allowing it to carry on without me and not seeing my children and all that. If I walk out, obviously you don't get paid. And it has changed my life, though. It gave me a lot of confidence when I came out.
I got confidence out of it. But I guess maybe we got confidence from different things, because I got confidence when I realised, when either Becky or Vanessa went, the third or fourth person, and I realised that the people outside were seeing something that perhaps I hadn't picked up on, and that people were actually voting for me. And getting to coming third. Yeah. That gave me an amazing amount, because it's like, some people like me. God.
I didn't get confidence like that because I was out first.
Out first.
Wait a minute, I did not get booted out first. No. As my mother said, you were released early for good behaviour. Thank you very much. No, I just, in terms of hanging out with people that was so business-like, and I sort of came out, and also, this is unexpected, I'd only been driving for about 8 months before I went in, and before I went into I'm a Celebrity, I cried on the motorway a lot while driving because I found it terrifying, and now I drive like a bandit.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm such a good driver.
There you go.
I went the wrong way up a dual carriageway the other day, and I kept my cool.
Well, hang on a minute. That doesn't make you a good driver, like you were just saying you were.
Okay, it's not a good driver, and I'm not condoning that sort of thing.
You're a confident bad driver.
No. everyone said, "Oh, how lucky you were that you didn't see a car." If there were cars coming, I wouldn't have made that mistake.
No.
What I learnt was, do not get behind the wheel after a gig.
Yes.
At night time, for me, it's too late. I'm too long in the tooth with driving to be able to do, a whole show and get behind the wheel and drive 100 miles. But no, but I sorted it out, and it was fine. It wasn't fine. It was a bad mistake to make,
I've driven the wrong way up a one-way street and things. These things happen.
I realised in a split second,
Yeah.
and I sorted it. That's what I mean. Like, you're gonna get loads of emails going, "Can't believe she's proud of the fact that she drove the wrong way up a dual carriageway." No.
These idiots listening to this, God, they can barely string a set. But I'll prove it to you. Put your headphones on. We've got Alan who's called in. Good evening, Alan.
Evening, Mark. Evening, Shappi.
Hello, love.
It's good to see you fresh from the jungle.
Freshish. Thank you, though.
I've got a question for you, Shappi. If you could do any trial that you missed out on, what would it be?
Any trial that I missed out on, I think I would have enjoyed creature endurance. Like, I think I would have been absolutely fine with snakes and rats crawling all over me.
Yeah.
That would have been my trial of choice. I tell you what, Becky and Toff did a trial where they ate lots of disgusting things.
Yeah.
All they did was tell me about what they had to eat, and I was sick. Do you remember when you came in? I was sick.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I skipped the eating, but I'd quite like to have shown off about how unscared I am about snakes.
What would you like to have done, Alan?
Celebrity cyclone.
Well, that doesn't count. That's a reward for lasting. That's not a trial. That was fun. We were offering them money to have another go at that.
Or the bus took a banana.
Yeah, that was the eating one. I did that.
Yeah, you did. I watched you do that.
Oh, I felt really sick afterwards.
My favourite one of the whole series.
You'd have loved that, Alan, chomping down on a pig's vagina.
Or kangaroo's testicles.
Yeah, we didn't have kangaroos. I had turkey's testicles.
Well, in the earlier series, it was the kangaroo.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the classic series that was the last one. Thanks so much for your call, Alan. Yeah, there was a real thing. I tell you why I talk about it with you. It's just because it is like a group therapy. It's like a 12-step thing of people. There's only a limited number of people that know what it was like to do it.
Yeah.
It's that shared experience. And there was a lot of, because I cried and stuff like that. There was a lot of, and I didn't do that swimming trial. There was a lot of people coming back from trials going, "Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do that one, Ian. You wouldn't. You did well. The one where Toff was in a box 100 feet in the air with snakes. You wouldn't have been able to do that one, Ian." I'm thinking that one. I could have done that one easy.
Yeah.
It was heights, but you're enclosed in a box. It's not the same as standing on a tightrope.
No.
And snakes didn't bother me. The snakes and rats didn't bother me in the
Yeah.
slightest.
Do you know what I found was when it all, okay, this is a really terrible thing to admit.
Yeah.
But everybody, was going all out to win these trials and these stars to get food for the camp. And when the food that we won came, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the beans and rice. I was like, oh, brilliant, we've got a crocodile's face, whatever it was.
It
and
was-
this mad fruit that tasted of feet.
Oh, the fruit was horrible. There was one fruit that burnt and
So bitter.
it was disgusting. And I was just grateful because it meant there was lots of food. But yeah, it was hard to get excited about. It was crocodile claws, I think.
Yeah,
was
and then
that.
cutting it all up and all of that. And because honestly, I didn't say this at the time, but I'd never watched it. And I thought when you won food, you got like a dish with a jacket potato and melted cheese and beans on it. I
Yeah.
thought that's what you got. I didn't realise you had to work and then cook it. And everyone's sitting around. And then there's Dennis telling you how to, doing like backseat driving cook. Drove me nuts.
I found those meals and the preparation of the meals the most uncomfortable part of it. Partly because I was excluded from a lot of it because people were being arseholes to me. I was, no bones about it. But it was that weird. We're all being communal now, guys. Right, everybody. We're gonna. Oh, Jesus.
I know, and I've done things that are communal. It's a very different vibe. It's I don't know. I kind of can't. Yeah, I look back on it and just think when the game started properly, I just remember it was in the middle of the night. I was knackered and. Vanessa and Dennis were called away when it was bedtime, and you remember how tired we used to get. And I was lying on my hammock going, they have been taken off into a trial, at bedtime. They'll come back stinking of something. They'll have to have cold showers. And I lay there just going, I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this. I can't kind of get into the spirit. And I think that had I done this before I'd had children, I would have got stuck into it. But because I knew that there were two human beings on the outside, that nothing's fun unless I'm sharing it. Nothing's as fun unless I'm sharing it with them. And it's sort of, basically my children ruined it.
Yeah, I got that. Your children did ruin it for me as well.
Yeah.
That's why I was crying so much, is because of the bullying your children inflicted on me. I enjoyed that. We'll talk about other stuff in a minute, but I enjoyed it because of my kids.
Oh.
The bits I enjoyed because I thought my kids are going to see me looking like an absolute idiot, and they are going to find this hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the thing when I was 100 feet up in the air. Apparently they were jumping around the kitchen when I did. All of that, and so I could kind of connect.
Yeah, I think it's different though, because I think your kids are a little bit older, and also crucially, what I did not, my daughter's only 4, and I'm her only parent.
Yeah.
And I think that had I, with my son, he was with his daddy, and my daughter was loved and in a nest of feathers. But I think being her only parent, I did. It's not something I would do again. I don't think, not until she's a lot older.
We should let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business.
So your show,
My show.
that is at the Soho Theatre all this week.
Oh, it's not on Wednesday. It's on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
So why did you make it so difficult for us to arrange a date for you to come in then?
Because I didn't make it difficult.
You made it quite difficult. Well, I made it initially difficult by cancelling because I was ill, let's say. Okay, so it's on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
What is it? I saw a poster for it the other. I was in the Soho Theatre and I saw a poster.
Yes. It's. Do you know what? I'm not doing the Wednesday. This is the only time in my life I have pulled a show, and the reason is I had tickets to Imagine Dragons, which is my son's favourite band.
Oh, you mentioned those, yeah.
Yeah, I'd got him tickets to Imagine Dragons, and then my agent said, but that's the week you're at Soho Theatre. I'm like, I can't miss out on my 10-year-old seeing his favourite band. I need to be there. So that's why I'm not there on Wednesday. So it's a show about Emma Hamilton.
Yeah.
Who is the mistress of Horatio Nelson's, who was the love of Horatio Nelson's life.
Yes.
And she used to be, she was one of those Georgian girls who came from a poverty-stricken background, came to London, worked as a cleaner, worked in theatres, worked as a prostitute, a sex worker, and in brothels. And we know that she worked in a brothel because there's something called the Harris List that they had in those days, where it was a review of all of the Covent Garden prostitutes.
When you say review, like kind of marks out of 10.
Like TripAdvisor.
Wow.
Yeah, because 1 in 6 women in London back then at some point worked as sex workers.
No way, that's incredible.
1 in 6. So she was amongst them. And so I sort of talk about that, and just talk about just how we view sex workers.
Yeah.
And just compare it to my own life and situations in my own life where I've traded, might have traded sex for something, and why do we ever judge, and how do we judge, and how things have moved on for women, because she had to, she and I were both life models, we were both single mums, both cleaners, and I sort of compare her life to today. And she was a thoroughly modern woman, but crucially, when Nelson went into the Battle of Trafalgar, he changed his will, and he said, please look after Emma Hamilton. He begged his king and country to look after her in the event of his death, but they didn't.
They didn't. They ignored that because she was a sex worker.
Because she was a sex worker, because they weren't married, because they wanted Nelson to be about Trafalgar and not about this woman from the wrong social class.
So what happened to her then? They just jogged on.
She went to a debtor's prison, and then when she came out, she fled to Calais, and she died a derelict alcoholic refugee in Calais, ironically.
God.
Yeah, so I know this doesn't sound like a comedy show. I'm well aware of that. But it is. It is. And it's been an awful lot of fun.
Did you do? You've been doing this for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, since the Edinburgh Festival last year.
Okay. And then what? So you're doing it at the Soho Theatre, and I'm going to come on Saturday. If that's
Amazing.
all right.
I
Thanks
can't
very
wait.
much indeed. And then do you tour it, or is then that show done, and you look at something else?
No, yeah, so I'm touring it. So this is my biggest tour, 50 dates. So
Wow.
I'm touring it all over the country until June. I go everywhere. And then I'm not going to Edinburgh this year. I'm not doing a new show. And thanks to I'm a Celebrity, I'm taking the autumn off touring, and I'll think of another project, another stand-up show. But I've been like constantly touring now for 10 years.
Yeah.
I need to take a step back, and what I need to do, what I want to do, and I can't wait to do, is get back to the clubs, get back to the...
Really?
Yeah.
It is exciting for you, is it?
Do you know what, Ian? I am a spit and sawdust, cut my
Yeah.
teeth at jongleurs comic, and I'm looking forward to going back to my roots and being a I used to be like a real machine gun fire
Yeah,
gagmeister, but
I
then you
know.
do longer, nuanced shows.
Yeah.
And I want to be bulletproof in a club again.
Wow.
I love
That's,
it.
When was the last time that you were kind of really doing that?
Constantly.
Yeah.
Oh, 2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
You nervous? Because
No,
we're older. I mean, we're the
yeah.
same age, I think. And
We're bang on the same age. I think I'm a day older than you.
yeah, all right, don't rub it in. All right, I'm taller than you, and that's what
I know.
really counts. As
Everyone's
we all know.
taller than me.
Yes, because I did stand up, and stand up I was never very good at it. It was always a means to an end, and as soon as I got on telly, it's like right, well, I've done that now. I don't need to do it. But I kind of dipped my toes in at doing stand up again, maybe 10 years ago, and even then it was all kids. They were all so young.
What,
and
the stand-ups or the audience?
the stand-ups, they were all literally teenagers in early 20s, and everyone's so young,
But that's great. Well, I
so
love
focused.
I love that because,
Yeah?
like, I'll skip into a club in town, and the audience are young.
Yeah.
They're the age I was when I started to
Yeah.
go to comedy clubs, and it's so exciting. I find it really exciting that they've come out and they've chosen this night and to watch comedy, and because I'm better at it than I was back then, there's no fear.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing, and I really enjoy sort of being the sort of older comic, sort of making these young people laugh, because they're my pension. You know, you've got to get the young on side. You see, I'm the opposite to you, because if I ever get telly is the means to my end, which is filling
Right.
out theatres.
Yeah.
So for me,
Okay.
live comedy is where I get my pleasure.
Yeah.
So any bit of telly I do, it's to get people to come to my
I see,
live
yeah.
shows, because that's where I really enjoy myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Coming out of the jungle, I'm a little bit confused as to what I am, in terms of career and in terms of personal life as well and stuff, with marriage falling apart and all of that kind of stuff. Has it made you more focused as to what you are or not?
It made me realise just how important it is for me to be single.
Right.
I'd never really been single before. I've been in
Right.
continuous relationships right up until this August.
Yeah.
And then I dilly-dally, I had some...
Dilly-dallied.
I had some
Yeah,
fun with
dilly-dally.
some people. And then I went into the jungle, and you have a lot of time to think. And I just looked at my life, and I just thought my energies are going into the wrong places.
Yeah.
I've always got, some romance on the go, and I've devoted more time to romance in my life than I have to my career. And now it's got to be, career before romance, always. For now. And all it means is I get to go to bed at 9 o'clock with my kids. It's just wonderful. I get sleep. And that was really important to me. And also what I realised was really important to me was, writing and just going back to what I do that makes me happy. And sort of fame for fame's sake and money for money's sake isn't what makes me happy. I knew that before,
Yeah.
but I did want the new shed.
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, but you say a new shed.
It's amazing.
Is it like one of those log cabin? Is it? What is it? What is it?
No, okay, right, Ian. I wanted it to be, but I'm really bad at measuring. I've got a 4x4. It's so tiny. I've had to buy a second shed because I can't fit anything into my shed, and all my neighbours are laughing at me because I kept going on about this shed, and it's smaller than my old shed.
So you've bought a new shed with I'm a Celebrity money.
Yeah.
But you've measured it wrong, so it's smaller than the shed it's replaced.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and I bought 2 rabbits.
Why aren't the newspapers reporting on this?
I don't
This
know.
is the big scandal of that
why.
series.
I know. I didn't make enough money to pay someone to measure up for me, and so I've got myself this tiny Wendy house of a shed that once I've put my lawnmower in it, nothing. I've had to get a separate one.
You were trying to palm off some guinea pigs on me or hamsters or something?
I was.
You sent me a WhatsApp saying, I've got some hamsters for you. That'll cheer you up in your flat.
I know.
No, I don't want the hamsters. You go, no, I'll bring them in. And it got quite tense.
It did, because you don't know me well enough to know I was kidding.
I don't think you were. This is it. I don't think you were kidding. I think you thought that me having hamsters would be a great thing for me to do, and it would keep me sober, and I would and I was so furious with you that you're now doing that. I was just a joking.
Were you really furious?
I was furious with you.
Yeah, because you texted me and you went, "Stop trolling me, you weirdo."
You were. I'm going to bring them in, and it'll be. Go away.
I was being silly. No, what it was is.
I hope you've killed them.
No, I haven't. They've gone to a nice local lady this very evening.
Okay.
I have an awful lot of pets, and I have allergies, and the guinea pigs just were usurped by the bunnies. And so a local lady has taken them
cold.
in. But it's difficult. It's really difficult because you can't. I couldn't. I needed them to go to someone I know, so that if there's a problem, they can give them back.
Yeah.
I do love my guinea pigs, but
not as much as the rabbits.
Not as much as the rabbits.
I finished your book today. Nina is not okay. Is that the title? Have I got the title right?
Yeah.
It's it is funny. The bits that are really funny, but it's grim. You know, it's bleak. I know there's an optimistic kind of as it goes on, but as stories of young teenage women who discover that they are alcoholics and that they've been raped it's but it was brilliant. I loved it. Because my sister had read it. My sister and Jenny McAlpine, they're like best friends now. They're like, they were on Twitter banging on about this book of yours. They both read, and I loved it. I loved it. I just thought it was brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
It's really good. Are you going to do any more books?
I am. I'm writing a second book, which is, I don't know what it is about me in novels, but I just go bleak.
Yeah.
My next one's about a dreadful divorce, and it's the theme of being gaslighted, and it's about a woman who goes out with someone, and she finds out that she's the other woman, and this man's been leading a double life, and then she contacts the other woman and has a big long telephone conversation with her, and a lot of the book is about that conversation. So I like to go dark because my stand-up's so stand-uppy, but in real life I've got so serious.
Really? Is that age? Being a parent?
I don't know. I think it's tiredness. And I think that because my tour is so long, I'm on stage so much, I'm completely sated by having a laugh.
Yeah.
I have a laugh all the time. And so one-to-one, or when I sit down to write a book, I go to all the dark places, and it's so much fun writing dark.
Yeah.
People said to me, when you're writing Nina's Not Okay, that must have been a real journey for you. I was like, I sat in my bedroom having an absolute blast.
Did you really?
Absolutely loved it.
Because I want to write a book, right? But it turns out it's much harder to write a book than it is to read a book. And I could have probably worked that out. But how do you discipline yourself?
I don't. It's awful. I'm a real procrastinator.
Yeah.
One thing I did is I put a notice up on my laptop saying it's not going to write itself, dickhead.
Yeah.
So I did put that because you just
what is meant for you won't pass you by.
I can't even joke about that. I can't joke.
I'm not joking, I'm serious.
You're right. What is for me won't pass me by.
Yeah.
I might get that tattooed on my face. So
you procrastinate a lot, do you?
I do. If ever, like today, I've tweeted about 20 times, and when I tweet loads, it's because I'm writing.
You're working.
I'm working. If I don't tweet, it means I'm out living my life. But when I'm working, I start tweeting like a crazy thing, and it is a compulsion, and it's totally connected with all the other addictions and compulsions that I have.
I have deleted Twitter from my phone.
Right.
But I still check it online on my phone. But I'd say one of the things I got from In the Jungle, because everyone in the jungle was like, yeah, when I come out, I'm going to eat better, and I'm going to cook, and I'm going to ditch the phone, and I'm really going to, spend more time in the present. Of course, literally the second everyone came out, they were all on their phones walking around like this.
Yeah.
I have changed things. When I'm with my kids, I tend to leave the phone in the car, so I'm sat with the kids.
Yeah.
And I am on Twitter. I was going to get rid of Twitter. Then when I went in, I had 50,000 followers. I came out, I've got 100,000 followers. It's like, well, it's a useful tool for selling stuff. And
Yeah, to entertain your followers.
Well, exactly. But the arseholes on there don't bother me anymore, generally. Because before I'd get engaged with them and not get engaged, I would engage with them and we'd argue and all of this stuff. And they don't really bother me now. But I've kind of taken a step back from Twitter, and I use it just to plug this
I need
nonsense.
to do that. I do find it fun. I don't get arseholes, really. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know why.
I'll send you some of mine.
Send yours along. I do the same now. When I'm with my children, I'm like, well, they're safe.
Yeah.
I don't need to be contacted by anybody.
Yeah.
And I put my phone away, and my kids have noticed. They've really noticed it, and they appreciate it, and it kind of makes me feel bad.
I
that
wonder
didn't
what
do that
this
earlier.
generation of kids who are like 6, 7, 8, what they're going to be like when they get to, become parents, because it's a real thing with parents just doing this all the time when their kids are playing, and that's what they're seeing. That's what they're picking up on.
But you know what? When we worry about these things, but when I think of my generation, my own childhood, my dad was always on the phone.
Yeah.
If it rang during dinner, the phone was always the most important thing. He was always on the phone. And also, can you imagine, like my dad and his friends used to smoke constantly.
Yeah.
Like our net curtains were yellow, the car stank. No one ever thought, oh, let's not smoke in front of the children. They didn't have babysitters. My mum and dad used to take us to parties with them.
Wow.
And we'd go to these raucous parties where people would be singing, dancing, and eventually my brother and I would go, and the other kids would find a corner to fall asleep in.
Yeah.
And every generation has things that seem outrageous now.
Yeah.
And, when our kids are there, they'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Oh, they'll be fine. Good. Stuff them then. I'm going to carry on smoking crack in front of them. I won't do that. Shappi, you're just Shappi Khorsandi on Twitter, are you?
I'm just Shappi Khorsandi, yeah.
You got there first. You beat the others.
I know.
And
my email's shappi@hotmail.com.
Well, don't tell them that.
So I don't really use it very often.
Do you not?
No, but I still have shappi@hotmail.com.
I was Iain Lee at yahoo.co.uk, but then I got rid of it.
Yeah, it just shows how old I am.
Yeah. Well, a day older than me, and that extra day, I think, really shows. If people want to see your tour dates, where do they go?
If you want to see my tour dates, then shappi.co.uk is my website.
Wow.
And I always hang out and say hello afterwards. But only hang out and say hello if you've been to the show. Don't just turn up to the theatre bar. That's weird. Some people do that.
Really?
It's really odd.
Saturday night, guys, if you want to see a jungle reunion at the Soho Theatre, it's going to be me and Shappi. Awkwardly. It was funny when we went to the National Television Awards. I'm so glad we went together. You can go in a second, I promise. It's nice talking to you. Well, and we were holding hands going up the red carpet. I was hoping it would create more of a stir. I was hoping there would be some. But I did hear a woman go, "Oh my God, they're holding hands. I think they're going out with each other." Aww. But I was hoping that there'd be, that front page of the.
No, do you know what? I thought no one's interested in two middle-aged people holding hands. No, but what I found interesting was not even any of my friends or family thought that always something going on with you and Iain. I thought it would cause a stir amongst them. Nothing. No one. So you and Iain were so cute the way you supported each other. I think we just look like we need support.
We look like needy people. It's always lovely to see you. I'll see you on Saturday.
That'd be lovely. Can we see each other socially as well?
Yeah, definitely.
We shake off this awkwardness, and then the next time I offer you my pets, I'm kidding.
I don't. But that's not even a funny joke, though. So you've made me uncomfortable now talking about it. Yes, let us. I'll see you on Saturday, and then we'll sort out like a lunch or I don't know, a film or something. I don't know.
Oh, we did go to lunch, didn't we? We went for coffee.
We did go.
We met
did
in
go
the
for lunch.
park.
Yeah, and it was chucking it down with rain.
I know, and on my mum's WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, I'm meeting Iain Lee in the park,"
Yeah.
thinking they'd all go, "Oh, that's for about nothing." They went, "Oh, that's nice. Really liked him."
I'm not in any WhatsApp groups, and
Shall I start one, just me and you?
well, that's not a WhatsApp group. That's just a WhatsApp conversation. That's WhatsApp. That's WhatsApping me. Okay. I want to be in a group.
All right, I'll set up some sort of group for you.
Wicked, nice one. Right, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Talk and entertainment.
Thank you,
across
love.
the nation.
Talk Radio.
Give it some lift.
I start with an O. I end with a Y. I'm the second biggest preventable cause of cancer. What am
is my name on the door?
The answer at the end of this ad break.
All right.
I'll put your name on the...
Nice one. Well, I'll see you.
Question number 91
Say hello.
for the Army.
Yeah, let's
So you
go out.
can't do
Let's
a
go out
pull-up.
for lunch
Welcome
or
to the
dinner
club,
or
mate. I can do squats for days,
Have you seen...
but just couldn't crack a pull-up.
Tonya?
But no one's a
Yes.
full package when they arrive.
Seen it.
So you all muck in. Your mates take you out for some extra
I
training.
enjoyed it, but
Got
I
my
struggled
first pull-up in a
with
week.
comedy.
Absolute legend.
Yeah, it's very broad comedy.
The Army is recruiting now. To have your questions answered and find where you belong, search Army Jobs.
I don't need a stylish new Toyota CHR because I hardly need parking sensors. I'm brilliant at parking because everyone will want to lift because it clutches with my tie. Eventually, you'll run out of excuses. The Toyota CHR, only £229 a month with 0% APR representative. Search Toyota CHR office. 0% APR representative.
Lovely, Shappi.
New sales of
Right,
Toyota
I'm gonna-
CHR Red Edition petrol over
We're gonna
24
try
months,
something
£229 per
that
month
may or
customer
may not
deposit of
work in terms of
£7,205.50 when
It
financed to
involves-
Access Toyota by 2nd of April 2018. £12,622.50 optional final payment. Subject status to over 18s.
It may not
Indemnities
work.
may be required.
We can
Conditions
see.
apply. Toyota Financial Services.
Coming up on Sky. When someone you love goes missing.
Is this you? If it is, give her back.
How far would you go to save them?
Whoever grabbed her up knows who I am to her. He knows me.
From the makers of Line of Duty.
I don't know if you're anywhere near or if I'm anywhere nearer to you.
Starring Lenny James, Suran Jones, and Stephen Graham.
I am coming for you.
Save Me. All episodes available February 28th on Sky Atlantic.
I saw something I was not supposed to. They gave me a choice: die or become a sparrow.
Get ready for the intensely gripping spy thriller, Red Sparrow. This is what you were meant to do. Critics agree it's sexy, smart, and empowering. They'll never let you go.
I'll find a way.
Jennifer Lawrence, Joel Edgerton, Matthias Schoenaerts, and Jeremy Irons. Make these men pay. Don't miss Red Sparrow in cinemas and IMAX this Thursday. Certificate 15.
Did you guess what the biggest preventable cause of cancer is after smoking? The answer is obesity. Search Cancer Research UK Obesity for the facts.
No more chasing payments. No more having to manually match transactions and invoices. And no more losing customers at online checkouts. In store, on the move, online, and over the phone. Sage takes the pain out of payments. Accounting, payroll, and payments. Sage Business Cloud takes care of it all. Get started today. Visit sage.com/get started. Be Sage. Build on.
There are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of. I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
The Wren Kitchen sale is now on with all kitchens half price plus an extra 25% off when you buy 5 or more fully assembled units. Hurry, offer ends 10 p.m. Wednesday.
There's a new secret agent in town.
I'll have an apple martini and a cheese toasty.
And his name is...
Man. Logan Man.
We had a direct threat from Vladimir Shevchenko.
Such a Russian baddie name.
When the world calls for peace, they bring the action.
What took you so long?
I'm sorry I was waiting for a toasty.
How was it?
Cheesy.
Explosive new comedy, Action Team, starts Monday the 5th of March on ITV2.
With Pertemps Recruitment, opportunity is closer than you think. It can take you to places you've always wanted to be, and it's around every corner. So if you're looking for your next permanent, temporary or contract opportunity, pop into one of our 200 local offices or search Pertemps online.
we're just going to...
Pertemps, the face of recruitment. I'm there as she's rushed down the corridor of A&E. Her blooded hands are hanging limp from the side of the hospital bed. She desperately needs a transfusion. She keeps asking for her fiancé. We turn the corner. And I'm here, finally, in the snack aisle. I pick up a selection of crisps before realising that I forgot the potatoes. Back to the fruit and veg aisle it is then. As a blood donor, you can save someone's life while going about yours. Register at blood.co.uk.
Driving home with Eamon Holmes.
Your #1 drive time destination.
High revving radio with Eamon Holmes.
Showbiz news, current affairs, big names, special guests. If it's happening, we're on it.
Get home with Holmes.
Driving home with Eamon Holmes. Weekdays from 4
on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, no, we're not going to have a little stab there? No stabs there? Okie dokie. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're more than welcome to. Good evening, Angela.
Hi, Ian. It's nice to hear your voice again.
It must be nice to hear my voice again.
Yeah, sorry I've been on for a while. I've been a bit...
There's no need to apologise to me. I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't, but I just want to ask you something.
Yes.
Why don't you and Rufus Hand do a show together?
Why would we?
It'd be interesting.
Would it?
Yeah.
In what way interesting? I don't know Rufus. I think I must have met... No, I think I met him once, but I don't know him. And quite often, when you do shows with people that you don't know, it's all a little bit awkward and a little bit uncomfortable.
I just thought I'll give you that kind of thought.
What?
I just thought you might have a thought. If I think about it, it'd be quite interesting.
Why don't you do a show with Rufus?
I don't live in London.
Is that the... I don't live in London.
Where do you live?
Well, it's none of your business.
I live in Coventry.
Okay, well, it's still none of your business. I've tricked you into telling me where you live, but you've not tricked me into telling you where I live.
No, that's a shame.
What? But why? But just because you don't live in London, that shouldn't stop you doing a show with Rufus.
I wouldn't wish that on him.
Well, there you go. You see, there you go.
But I tell you, I did used to do night work because I tend to stay awake at night more.
So suddenly it's not your location that's preventing you doing a show with Rufus. It is your inability to work at nights.
No, I can work at night because that's what I used to do. I used to do 10 to 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I could I do want to share with him.
Why don't you phone him up and ask if you can do a show with him?
I will next time he's standing in for you.
Beautiful. Well, I'm away in March, so maybe he'll be in then, and you can put it to him.
Yeah, I could, couldn't I?
All right, nice one, Angela.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ian.
There we go. Thanks very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You can call about absolutely anything you want. There is that weird thing where you kind of think that if you put your two favourite people together, then it will create just like the best thing ever. But I present you with Queen and David Bowie in Under Pressure. It's a lousy song, man. It's a lousy song. And everyone would have thought, Freddie Mercury and David Bowie. Ooh, gender benders. Oh, this is going to be great. And then it came out and it was really limp. really limp, egotistical, fueled, probably cocaine-fueled, rubbish song. It was a rubbish song. Terrible. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're listening to the late night alternative on Talk Radio. You can listen to the show on DAB by downloading the app or by going online to talkradio.co.uk. You can also watch the show, guys. You can watch the show on my YouTube channel. I'm just running. We're doing, bizarrely, there are now 2 live video feeds upon which you can watch the show. So if you go to youtube.com/rabbithole, you'll see 2 live feeds. One I'm streaming from my mobile phone, and one I'm streaming from a webcam. There is currently no audio from the webcam, but I don't let that put you off. I'm conducting experiments for what will become mine and Catherine's potential live TV show on the Rabbit Hole YouTube thing, but it's really difficult to conduct live experiments whilst I am doing a live radio show. So, and I'm aware that this is kind of a niche thing for, a minority of you. So I'm not going to devote too much of the radio show to it. But we'll sort. I'm doing experiments. Is basically what I'm saying. Okay, guys, it's experiments. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. Thank you to everyone who came and saw the show last night in Bath. That was weird, wasn't it? It was a really weird, dark vibe in Bath. Lovely, beautiful place. I love Bath. Wonderful drive-in. Great scenery. Very, very steep hills. Me and Kath got there early. Had a nice little spot of lunch. And beautiful theatre at the Rondo Theatre. Absolutely stunning little place. Sold out 100 people. Well, we'd sold 100 tickets, but there were about 12 people that didn't turn up. Imagine that. You bought tickets to the theatre, and then you decide not to go. I've bought tickets for things and not gone, but 12 people? That was it was 12% of the audience. 12% of the audience didn't bother to turn up. Hey, listen, I don't care. We trousered the money anyway. We still got the quids for it. But I'm really surprised that many people didn't turn. And boy, oh boy, they should have turned up, because it was a very strange. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the answer phone message that we got from Sue. Do you think that we can? And I know it's a little bit cross, but basically what we do is we do this show called The Rabbit Hole, and people can phone up at any point and leave answer phone messages. And we got this message, and normally they're quite light-hearted, phone calls about farts and the Beatles and things like that. And then we got this message, and I was intrigued by it. Have a listen to this, and then we'll talk.
Hi, my name's Sue. I'm calling from Switzerland. My name is Sue, and I'm dialing from the number 00.
Right, and then she gives out the number, and the number she gives out is because it was on Skype.
0.
The number was logged, okay?
059. I would like to have a discussion about death, basically. Yeah. Call me back, please. Thanks.
That bit at the end. Call me back, please. Thanks. And so we kind of ummed and ahed, and we decided we'd call this woman up. And when we called this woman up on the number she'd left, which was also the number that was logged in my Skype, it was answered by Swiss person. I don't know, but basically we spoke to a couple of people in various languages, because they speak 5 languages over there, and no one was able to. They kept hanging up on us and didn't want to talk to us. We never got to speak to Sue, and it was just the strangest, most mysterious. It's about 40 minutes on and off, with us trying to get hold of this Sue woman. And I suspect we will never hear from Sue again, that she is one of those mysteries that will just never be answered. But it was a weird vibe. And then we had a lad phone up, not Zach, because someone did it before Zach. A lad phoned up, it's got to be like late teens, early 20s, to tell us in the middle of a live show that there'd been an explosion in Leicester and that we should let all our viewers know. And we're like, first of all, we thought it was like, you know, a joke. And then we looked and there had been an explosion in Leicester, obviously, a horrific explosion in a shop that I think's killed 5 people. But here's the thing, dear listener. When you're in a live theatrical environment in front of 88 people, and someone phones up and says, yeah, there's been an explosion and you should let your viewers know in case they've got anyone in Leicester. Bear in mind we were in Bath, we were miles away from Leicester. It done half sucked the life out of the room, didn't it? Really sucked the life. And this came after midway through the whole Sue thing. So it was a really, really strange show. And do you know what? I've just had an idea on what our next show could be. I've just had an idea. Because we're not allowed to do it on the radio. Imagine, because it was such a weird vibe. I'm speaking now directly to Catherine Boyle, my producer. Because it was such a weird vibe. Imagine if we'd been having a séance on a tape. Imagine if we did that. We got a Ouija board and we invited down 4 people from the audience and we did a séance with a Ouija board. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be 0344 499 1000? If we did a séance, either for this or for the rabbit, or maybe we do it for this. If we did a séance, would you buy tickets and would you come up on stage with us and touch my planchette? That's the pointer that they use on a Ouija board. But that'd be something, wouldn't it? Ooh, that would be great. Imagine if like demons were summoned. I'm thinking ideas are forming. Good evening, Jerry.
Hello, do a remote séance.
A remote séance?
Remote séance with the listeners.
Yes.
All listeners.
Yes.
So have a séance together, see whether it works. See if the radio waves.
Well, we're not allowed to do a séance on the radio.
No.
No, not allowed to do it. It's against the rules.
I never knew that.
Yeah, well, if you've been a regular listener to the show, you would have known that because we talked about it a bit. It's against the law to do a séance on the radio. Imagine.
Can I call it something else?
Yeah.
Like Lynx is called Axe on the continent. Just call it something else and they won't know. But they aren't that clever. Ofcom, they're a bit useless.
Oh, Ofcom. I haven't got a bad word to say about Ofcom. Every complaint against me has not been upheld.
My favourite.
Catherine, on the other hand. No, Catherine, it's not 2 you've got, it's just 1. But still.
Go for the 3.
No, I like Ofcom. Here's the thing about Ofcom, right? The rule, as long as you stick within the rules, you're fine. And I've been taken to Ofcom. For those who don't know, Ofcom is the regulatory board, and if you've got a complaint about anything you hear on the radio or TV, you go to Ofcom. And I've been taken to Ofcom. Even the thing I got sacked from the BBC for, Ofcom didn't uphold. Hello, Jerry.
Hello, I thought you were talking to a mainstream listener. I was listening to you.
Well, I was talking to you because you phoned in, you muppet. But now I'm going to cut you off because there we go. There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you're waiting for the hook, if you're waiting for the angle, if you're waiting for the question about Muslims or Brexit or Trump, it ain't gonna come because that's not how this show works. I sit here and I just talk about my day and I'll go through the papers a little bit and you're welcome to call in about the stuff that I'm rambling on about. If you want to phone in and just check in and say, do you know what, I had a really lousy weekend, you can do that. Or if you want to phone up about a story that's in the news, you're more than welcome to. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. You'll speak to Catherine. She will take your name and number and call you back. I'm Iain Lee. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Right. Intelligent, organic entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
So, Tom, what is a flat white?
It's a harmony of milk and espresso enveloping into one another with the stretching of milk to forge a silky, smooth microfoam.
Microfoam?
Yeah, it's a delicate balance of rich and smooth, strong and light.
You're reading it from the wall, aren't you?
Yeah, haven't a clue. But the lady at McDonald's said it was like a stronger latte with less milk.
Made with 100% Arabica beans, the flat white is now part of the McCafe range at McDonald's. Great tasting coffee. Simple.
You started your business with courage.
No, thank
a bold step to do things your way. When it gets tough, it's your restless determination that keeps it going. We get it, because we're restless too. Running a business isn't easy, but with AXA, protecting it is. Imagine tailoring your insurance to your needs. Whether you're a plumber or an accountant, we can help you choose the cover that helps you take on tomorrow. Search AXA Business Stories. We're restless for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
£1 could buy you a mouthful of lager, or about 14.5 chips. Or £1 could buy you a Thunderball ticket for a chance to win £500,000. Bit of a no-brainer, really. Thunderball, only from the National Lottery. For just £1, you could win £500,000. Why not play this Tuesday? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 16 or over.
You can say anything to a mate. Anything. Call them every name under the sun. Wind them up. Bring them down a peg. Tell them stuff you never thought you'd tell anyone. Because they're proper mates. Like brothers. When it's a mate, you say what you feel like saying. Except, I love you, man, and I'm not going to let you drink drive. Stupid, innit? Mates don't let mates drink drive. Think.
Why, hello. It's me, Dracula. Relax. I don't bite. Much. Unlike the cost of some broadband deals. That's why I switched to Sky Fibre Unlimited. Just £25 a month, including line rental, plus a $9.95 setup fee, exclusively for new and existing Sky TV customers. Frightfully good value. It's totally unlimited, super fast, and they'll never slow you down, even at peak times. Well, you don't want anything to stop the flow when you're screaming. Sorry, streaming, do you? Search Sky Fibre. Sky. Believe in better. Available to new fibre customers in Sky Fibre areas. New 18-month contract. Check speeds at sky.com. Further terms apply.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A radio star is born.
You're going to love
Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. On the hour news headlines.
From the Sky News Centre at 11, the UK's most senior counter-terror officer says police have foiled 4 plots by right-wing extremists in the last year. Assistant Commissioner Mark Rowley thinks the country is facing a significant threat from such groups, but he also insists Islamist terrorists still pose the biggest threat. Mr Rowley says we shouldn't get complacent despite recent efforts to tackle Islamic State.
We've had difficult cases in the UK linked to Al-Qaeda, linked back to Afghanistan, linked to Libya and other parts of the world, in addition to the heavy focus around Daesh and Syria and northern Iraq.
The search is continuing tonight after 5 people died in an explosion at a shop in Leicester. Police say it could be days before we know the cause of yesterday's blast, which also injured 5 others, one critically. Superintendent Shane O'Neill from Leicestershire Police says they need to make absolutely sure no one's left inside.
The search and rescue operation for the emergency services will carry on while there is still a possibility that someone may be trapped in a void or a space that may have protected them. To give up is not correct, and I wouldn't want anyone to think that we would do so until we've done a thorough job.
More than 2 weeks after a helicopter crash in the Grand Canyon, a 5th British tourist on board's now died from her injury. Ellie Udall had been on her honeymoon at the time with her husband John, who died in hospital last week. Jeremy Corbyn wants to keep the UK in a customs union with the EU after Brexit, saying it would ensure tariff-free trade with Europe. But critics say the Labour leader risks tying the government's hands when it comes to the negotiations. Over 200 trains have been cancelled and dozens of flights grounded as snow showers sweep across Britain. Weather warnings are in place with northern, central, eastern and southeastern England expected to be worst hit tomorrow. And nearly 400 jobs have been saved at the shoe shop Jones Bootmaker. It's being bought by pavers after facing what's described as adverse health conditions. That's the latest. I'm Annie Joyce.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Hello, I am talking. Can you hear me? 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 I am talking. Can you hear me?
We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Here we go.
So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find my
Here we go. Here we go. Hey.
You know I'm free to roll.
Ba-dum, 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 bum. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio, and I think we may have made a breakthrough. If you want to watch the show, go to youtube.com/rabbithole and you can have a little look there and see what is going on. I'm going to shut one of those feeds off in a second. It's Monday night. Lovely to see Shappi. You know, when you do these big reality shows, people always, we're going to make friends, going to make so many friends. And I don't do jobs to make friends. I do jobs to get money. But I'm going to be friends with Shappi, and I'm going to be friends with Jenny, and that will do me. They were two lovely people. So, and Jenny's husband Chris, who is just the nicest bloke. We need to find a reason, Catherine, to go back up to Manchester so we can go to Jenny and Chris's restaurant, Annie's, and I'm going to be honest, hopefully blag some free food. I mean, that doesn't sound too outrageous, does it? 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I tell you what gets right on my tits is I was on the train today because we were in Bath last night, and then I was doing Good Morning Britain this morning. They dropped my second hit. They always come in and they say, we're supposed to do it at 6:50 and 7:50, no snails. And 7:30, they come in with a disappointed face. Oh, I've got some bad news, Ian. And I said, what, are they dropping the second hit? Yes, they are. I said, I still get paid the same, right? They went, yeah. I said, fine by me. Car's coming at 8, is it? Beautiful. I said, it's fine, love it. Do me. I do love being on Good Morning Britain. Susanna Reid is the most delightful human being. When I sat down at the desk, she squealed with excitement. She squealed. So it was so nice to see you in. It was so nice to see, and it was nice to see her. And you know what? It was nice to see Piers. It was all right. And it was nice to see Charlotte. And we had, I did it. But what it meant was, I parked at Talk Radio Towers last night. Got to Talk Radio just after 1. Oh, man. Did you hear Howard Hughes last night? Flipping heck. I dipped in and out of Howard because I was listening to a podcast about the Bruce Lee movie, Big Boss. And I dipped in and out of Howard. But, oh, man, his last guest in the last hour. Did you hear any of it, Kath? The fella, right, who his title was brilliant. He was like a He was like an electronics and digital. His job, right, was detecting whether you were being bugged, right, digitally. But then he also, like a little PS to his title was, and he also prevents mind control. And Howard didn't mention that bit. He didn't mention it. So the first 20 minutes, it was quite interesting. The first 20 minutes was talking about bugging. There's like bugging and stuff. I think this is boring. Come on, man, let's cut to the chase here. It's all about bugging, right? And then the guy said, "Actually, Howard, there's something I want to talk about." I said, Here we go. When the interviewee starts steering the conversation, you know you're going to get some ripe old bullshine. And he said, "I want to talk about an event occurrence that happened at an event. I was part of the conspiracy theory con 2016, and we were targeted by military satellites because on the Saturday everybody started feeling ill and queasy, and most people went home. And on the Sunday, everybody felt better. And it is of my belief, in fact, I have been told this by a Russian contact, that basically the military were zapping the conspiracy theory convention 2016 with a satellite that makes people feel a bit queasy. It wasn't even brown noise. It wasn't like they were puking up. It just made them feel a bit queasy. So they all went, nah, we should probably go home. And he was saying, oh yeah, what they've got is they've got technology where they take your rubbish. You hear this? Oh, it was great, man. See if you can find it. It's about 25 past 12. The bit where they're talking about the rubbish. They can take your rubbish and the bit about the convention. We'll play the whole 10 minutes. No one's calling in. We'll play the whole 10 minutes. It's brilliant. And they being the military and the government. And they get your DNA from the trash, and they can make weapons that will only target your DNA. And Howard Hughes, I love Howard Hughes so much. There was a bit of a boring bit when he was talking about graphite and stuff like that, and I like it when you just get the fruitcakes on, Howard. That's what we want. And Howard's going, mm-hmm. And also, he was trying to steer him ever so gently away, because this guy was being very specific about the Arabs. He said, for example, you get Arab DNA, then you can create a weapon that will only target Arabs. And he kept going on about Arabs, and Howard was going, well, of course, it would target, you could target any racial group. Yeah, but if you were at war with the Arabs... Man, it was great. It was absolutely great. I thoroughly recommend Howard's show on a Sunday night. It really is. It is superb. But anyway, so what was happening was but then I was driving into London from Bath, which is a journey of about 2.5 hours. It was a long old trek. Parked here at work. And then went and stayed at a hotel. Got to the hotel about 1:30. Ate loads of... I was thinking, please don't raid the minibar. Please don't raid... I raided the minibar. Packet of Oreos, 2 packets of Pringles. Eating all this stuff. And I'm really, really concerned now, guys, about my weight. Really concerned about my weight. And because I'm like the heaviest I've ever been, man. I'm tipping 16 stone now. I'm pretty sure of it. Certainly I'm the fattest I've ever been. I'm definitely the fattest I've ever been. And I'm just caning the minibar like there's no tomorrow. And there was a tomorrow, and it involved me getting up at 5 o'clock and going and doing... I was telling you this for a reason. There was a reason that I was announcing this, and I'm buggered if I can remember what it was. It was filler. It's all filler. It's all filler. No one's calling in. No, I feel like Julia Hartley-Brewer. So I'm not going to have a rant about Muslims. But yeah, we'll just sit and wait. We can just sit and wait for calls. We can sit and wait. Maybe they won't come. I don't know. If you want to give me a call, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. And you can give me a call about absolutely anything you want. Absolutely anything. This is the Late Night Alternative. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of
Right,
dialogue.
I'm closing this one.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
There's a new secret agent in town. And his name is...
Man.